What is making that noise? Tony Cirone is a percussionist. If I were to say that he was a drummer, what would you say?
Well, the connotation of a drummer could mean a person that plays the drum set, the trap set.
Uh-huh.
So I play a little drum set.
But mostly you're a percussionist, which
Yeah.
covers a much wider range of instruments.
You got to learn how to juggle these sticks around. That's
Yeah.
the whole key. When you learn, usually you learn on the snare drum first, or maybe the drum set. I like to teach the beginners just the snare drum, just first to get the hands. But just studying the snare drum is only part of what is required for a percussionist. The xylophone and the mallet instruments require a lot of technique and a lot different from the snare drum. The xylophone is made of wood, very high pitched, and it's played with a very hard mallet, hard plastic mallet, and it gets a very brilliant sound. Now there's one little solo written by Shostakovich, and it's really a cute little thing because it's a solo written with a lot of wrong notes in it. You know, it's
Wrong notes?
Yeah, well, the dissonances sound like wrong notes. Now there's one more. I'd like to play that solo from Porgy and Bess for you. The thing about this one is that the sticking is very hard. It's not just one hand after another all the time. Parts of it we have to double stick and cross over. That's what makes it hard. For a piano player, it's easy.
What's next?
Let's do the orchestra bells.
They look a lot like the xylophone and the marimba.
Well, this now is metal, very solid steel. All right. One of the pieces that really is very difficult is the Sorcerer's Apprentice by Paul Dukas. And Paul Dukas wrote this one section to sort of give the feeling of water splashing out of the bucket.
What's next? What are we going to do
All
next?
right, the vibraphone. Now, the vibraphone has the same keyboard.
How old is this instrument, the vibraphone?
It's used first in the early jazz music. Now, I can't really give you a year. See, you'll notice, now on the vibraphone, we have this little motor over here. See? And there's a little fan under each bar. See?
Mm-hmm.
And the motor turns that fan.
Oh.
See? Now, when I play the vibraphone without the motor, with the sustaining pedal, it sounds like this. Now, when I turn the motor on, it sounds like this. And we also can slow the vibration down like this. So
Is that called a vibrato?
vibrato?
Vibrato.
Vibraphone, see,
Right.
vibrating, instrument. We use the instrument both with the motor and without the motor. This is another instrument in the mallet family, but it's played much differently.
These are
Chimes.
chimes.
Now we have to do the non-pitched percussion. Now these are crash cymbals, and the cymbal player in an orchestra is really a specialist, because cymbals is a very special art. Just because you're a percussionist really doesn't mean you can play cymbals well. It takes a lot of imagination to play cymbals. The bass drum is one of the standard instruments in the orchestra. We use the center area of the bass drum to play, because we have to get the lowest sound, the lowest possible sound. Sometimes they want to roll.
Okay, what's next?
We haven't heard the gong yet. The gong, it's used for its enormous sound and color it adds to the orchestra. Triangle, very simple instrument, and normally you play on a triangle where it sounds best, because triangles have different sounds, and you try to find a very good sound. Yeah, difference in pitch. A roll on a triangle is just single strokes within one of the angles. Or loud.
Now, is this pitched?
No definite pitch. Although you can hear a lot of different little notes in there. That's a lot of overtones. You can hear a note. You certainly can hear notes, but it's not meant to have any particular note. Just a very high sound. Right. Now we have a tambourine, which is a very common instrument, both in the rock field and in the symphonic field. See?
Yeah.
To play the same kind of rhythms very soft, we have to sort of balance it on our leg and play with both fingertips of both hands, alternating it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that hard. It just takes a little practice. Now, I have many small percussion instruments, each one of them giving a very special characteristic sound. When we play woodblock, to get a good, firm, round tone, I like to use a rubber mallet. For simple things, you use one stick. If you have very complicated parts, then you'd put it down and play with snare drum sticks. And we have castanets. Some of our instruments, like the ratchet, all they do is make a lot of noise. Great for New Year's Eve,
Exactly. What's next?
Latin American instrument called a guiro, or a scratcher.
That's a really neat sound, yeah.
And the maracas, too, have their characteristic sound and rhythm. We have a pair of sandpaper blocks, which, again, are used for many different effects. One is the effect of a train, rumbling on the tracks. And, of course, when you have a train, you got to have a train whistle.
Oh, yes. Oh, that I want. What is this?
Now, this is a siren.
Oh, that's great.
It's a real old siren.
Yeah, and then it's got the little spinning thing up there.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I have here 2 cowbells. Now, as you can see, one cowbell has this beater inside. Now, that's the cowbell that the cow wears, And as he walks in the field, that beater makes the sound. But in the orchestra, we use the cowbell without the beater because we have to play certain rhythms, so we have to use a stick. Now, I have a few more sound effects, and these are sounds of animals, straight from the vaudeville shows. Cuckoo. Nightingale.
Oh, that's neat. And what's this?
This is my duck. And I have here a little pig. Now this one, you can also do a cow with this. It's a little hard though.
Yeah.
And I have my famous dog bark.
What is making that noise?